Oh, can hear it now.
Right, so we are live.
Live.
Hello, viewers. We're just waiting for Ian just to confirm that the song is done for our audio. This may have a bit of a technical hitch.
2 minutes.
One new message. What? 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
This sounds like. He needs to get the countdown clock already set.
It sounds like Supersonic by Oasis.
Okay.
Roughly. But anyway.
Right, it's a copy link. I haven't heard that song, but there you go.
What, you've not heard of Oasis?
Obviously, I've heard of Oasis.
You've not heard Supersonic by Oasis?
No.
It's a classic.
Probably if you played it, it'd know it if you heard it. Probably.
Yeah.
One of them. And I couldn't tell you many song titles, but once I hear a song, I know it.
Had a good week, Pete?
Yeah, it's been all right. It's been a normal week, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot going on.
Yes, we've got plenty to talk about on this programme, haven't we? So.
Handing over.
Okay. We hopefully, after some slight technical issues, are able to hand over to my chums there. Hello, guys.
Hello, Ian. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
Off you go.
Thanks very much to Ian, the button pusher. Why did I sound like I was from up north there? Okay.
Yeah. I thought you said something else then, to be honest.
Yeah, so did I, yeah.
Carry on. Adam's lost it.
This is going on the blooper tape, yeah. Welcome to the Grassroots Football Show here on East London Radio. It is Thursday, the 14th of September. How quick is this year and how quick is this season going already? We're already in the middle of September. And unfortunately, it's starting to get dark at this time of the evening now. So, yeah, the winter's coming. But, yeah, we've got a lot to discuss on this evening's show. We've got some cup draws as well. Joining us this evening is Mr. Pete Dudley. How are you, Pete?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing okay, thank you. Good week?
Yeah, it's been all right. It's been just a normal working week, as per usual. So, yeah.
Yeah, good. Also joining us this evening, we have the Essex Alliance League, Rob Parker, good friend of the programme, and we'll be doing, obviously, the live cup draws this evening, Rob. So thank you very much for being here.
No problem at all. Thank you for having me on once again. Two shows down for the season already.
Yeah.
For me.
Just before, obviously, we're going to quickly go through, obviously, the week's action. So we're aiming to do the cup draws about 8 o'clock for those Alliance League clubs, if that's okay with you. And obviously, we'll go through, obviously, what's been going on. But first, can you just enlighten us on what cup draws we will be doing this evening, please?
Yeah, we're doing all of the divisional cup draws tonight. So we've already done the Fenton Cup and Trophy, which went out on YouTube last week. And this week we are doing the divisional cup. So Senior Cup, Premier Cup, Division 1 Cup, Division 2 Cup and Division 3 Cup.
Yeah, okay. That will be really, really good. And we're looking forward to being a part of that later on. Yes, we've done some great cup draws over the year, haven't we, Pete?
I'm looking forward to the spinny wheel again.
Yeah,
it's all a bit different. We used to do ping pong balls, didn't we? But it's
a
bit tougher to do nowadays.
Do you remember the golf balls, the ball bag?
The ball bag, yeah. Well, that's a different story. That was my Nike bag, wasn't it? When my bag we used to carry around with me. Yeah, things we used to do in the studio. Amazing. It's all different now.
Unfortunately, it is. Yes, so yes, we've got a lot to get on with this week. I will start by saying something that I have received a couple of messages this week asking us, are we going to discuss a certain situation that's been out in the press in this week. All I'm going to say is that the situation involves two of our region's clubs that share a ground. You may have seen it on social media. All I'm going to say to this is this is a football show, and we're not going to enter any discussions on anything, because this is obviously going further than football, and it's not this programme's place to get involved. This programme respects both leagues and both clubs, and it's not fair on us to get involved, because I'm being honest, if we was to get involved in our pieces and that, we're not going to get thanked. I'm just being straight about that. We're not going to get thanked for it, regardless of how much we respect the people of the clubs involved and how much they respect us. It's just not right. So let the professionals deal with that. We'll just deal with the stuff on the pitch. Isn't that correct, Pete?
Yeah, I'm not getting into all the politics of it.
No.
I left that behind when I left when I came out of football. Like, you know,
yeah, me and Pete have been burned like that, and certain individuals know exactly what I'm talking about. So we'll leave it at that. But yeah, there's been a lot happening this week. We're going to start with the action that took place in the Essex Senior League last weekend, and we're going to start with we're going to describe this as Pete, Scott, and Rob's big day out. So it's a bit like Gordon, Gino, and Fred, but the football version. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good day. It was a good day. It was blooming hot, though. I tell you.
You was at Coggeshall, wasn't you?
Coggeshall Town Athletic Newham. Yeah.
Take us through it.
At a very, very warm West Street. Yeah, I mean, but kudos to the players. But actually playing a game in such a tempo in 90-degree heat, because it would have been hard playing in those conditions. But they put on a good show. And to be fair, Coggeshall played very well. They just didn't have anyone up. They just didn't have the composure in front of goal. They probably would have won the game. They started the game well. Then Athletic Newham hadn't played for 2 weeks as well, so they were trying to get back. They were trying to get back into competitive football again in 90-degree heat. So they were probably a bit off it anyway, which is understandable. But they did take the lead in the game. It was at 13 minutes. That was it. I was trying to remember what time it was. Yeah, it was a corner from Anderson Barrow that found Derek O'Hallam unmarked in the box, and he had a nice simple header past the keeper. 1-0. It was a bit of a blow to Coggeshall because they started the game quite well. But to be fair to Coggeshall, they managed to find an equaliser in first half stoppage time. It was a great ball from Reggie Gregory to find Leon Boyager, and he applied the finish past Wilkerson Boateng. That was 1-1 at half time, and more and totally deserved for the hosts, who had enough chances to score before that. Athletic Newham had chances to make it 2-0. Andy Greenslade had a great chance to make it 2-0 just before the equaliser, so it could have been different. But Wilkerson Boateng actually had a good game. He made some good saves as well, especially in the second half, because Coggeshall had so many chances in the second half. They had 5 or 6 clear-cut chances to grab another goal. Because the second half didn't start well for them, because they went behind again barely a minute after the restart, and it was a carbon copy of the first goal. It was a corner from Barrow, and O'Hallam again with a header. It was just it didn't learn from the first goal. So 2 poor goals to give away. Ultimately lost them the game, because, but they couldn't. They just could not find that net to equalise. And Athletic Newham did have a couple of chances on the break. The best one was for skipper Joel Apai, who fired wide after being put in. But Newham managed to dig in and get a result, which was all they really cared about, to get 3 points. Good win for them, considering they were on the back foot for a lot of the game and hadn't played for a couple of weeks. So it's just the way it's going for Coggeshall this season. They haven't picked a point up in the league yet, but I mean, if they carry on playing like that, they're gonna pick up points soon. So I think they'll be all right. It was a pretty. I said it was quite a high tempo. It was quite a good tempo to the game considering the heat. So, not a bad game, and well played. Well done, Athletic Newham, for digging in and getting a result. So,
fair play to him.
And they didn't have Richard Kona because he was suspended still.
Blimey.
That was his last game because he was there watching. I spoke to him briefly, and I asked him when he said he was back. He was back in midweek because it was his last game. So that'll be a boost to them for him coming back as well.
Definitely. There was a big game that took place on Friday night as well. This was probably, if you think about it, game of the weekend between two of what people were saying are the two potential title favourites. It was Woodford versus Holbridge at Ashton's. Ashley Hanson was there, and he done some filming for this game. So it's over to Peter John Motson Dudley, who will give the commentary for our audio listeners and take us through it. So, ready? This is Woodford versus Holbridge.
So, yeah, this is the big game on Friday night. And this is Holbridge coming forward and ball into the box and put away by Jonathan Evans. That gave Holbridge the half-time lead. Nice ball cross goal there. And then, but it looked like Holbridge might hold on to all 3 points. But 2 minutes into stoppage time, cross from the left-hand side. Jaden Joshua Phillips looped a header home in the corner, and Woodford grabbed a point in the 2nd minute stoppage time. So, I'm unfortunate for Holbridge because that would have been one heck of a 3 points over at Ashton's, but they just couldn't hold on. But I think Holbridge would be pleased. If you'd have given Holbridge a point before that game, I think they would have taken it.
I was going to say, who would you say the happier manager would have been?
Well, after the late equaliser, probably Woodford. But I think Holbridge would be. I mean, if you'd given Holbridge a point before the game, I think they would snap your hand off. So, because Woodford are unbeaten and Woodford haven't, they're obviously very good at home, and there was nearly 200 people there, so obviously there'd been a lot of good atmosphere. But I think, I said on last week's show, it'd be interesting to see how Woodford respond to that 4-1 defeat against Felixstowe in the cup, because obviously they hadn't lost a game, been competitive at all this season until that game, and it looked like they were going to have a second defeat in a row. So to get the amount of late goals Woodford has scored shows you their character and their desire to keep going until the end, because that's quite a good trait to have, and it often does win you titles or promotion. So, so I think Holbridge will probably be gutted they conceded a late goal, but still it's a point at Woodford which you can't sniff at. So,
Rob, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Holbridge a couple of times this season so far, and they've looked okay on both occasions. I mean, they had a tough game when I last watched them on Bank Holiday against Athletic Newham, which they came from behind to win. So I think that gave them a bit of a buoy on to try and move forwards. Obviously, there's not been a lot of action since then, but yeah, I think a point away to the leaders, unbeaten leaders, is you can never really say you wouldn't want by the end of the game. But I think if they're looking at their own credentials for the title, they are starting to slip back quite a lot now, aren't they? I think they're 12 points off the lead. It's quite a big gap starting to form between themselves and the rest, not necessarily other sides. But yeah, I think it's been a solid start for Holbridge. But I looking at the quality of players they've got in there, maybe I'd expect a little bit more for what they've done so far this season. So yeah, a bit of work to do, I think. But Woodford definitely looking like a side who are tough to beat, certainly at home, as you say.
I was talking to someone yesterday. We were both who know really what they're talking about when it comes to Essex Senior League, and they said like what we said, it's going to be one of them very, very open years that you don't know how it's going to go.
You don't, but I mean, yeah, I mean, the top. I think the top two are certainly.
They'll be up there.
But there's so many teams below that. You win a couple of games, you're right in the mix, aren't you? So But there is. But I mean, Holbridge is, as Rob said, are already 12 points off the leaders now. I know there's only early days, but they don't want that gap to increase too much more because they're going to be trying to pull that back. I mean, I know if you get in the top 5, you've still got a chance of going up. They're only 5 points off Wakering in 5th, so But I think Holbridge have probably got. They're thinking of winning the division, but I think if they make that gap gets any bigger, it'd be tough for them. So.
Definitely. Just going through the other results in the Essex Senior League. Buckhurst Hill 1, White Ensign 0. Important win there for Buckhurst. Great Wakering continued their recent upturn in form, being a good Tately side by 2-0. That's an impressive result there. Ilford beat Saffron Walden 2-0. Obviously, Saffron Walden bringing Jason back. Great decision, I think, that for them as well. Little Oakley beat Barking by 2-1. Romford beat FC Clacton 4-1. Stanway and Sporting Bengal shared the spoils 1-1. Tilbury 3, Halstead 1, and West Essex 3, Frenford 0. Let's go into midweek in the ESL. A couple of games. First of all, it's Barking. It was Barking 2, Great Wakering 2 at Maysbrook Park. A good result there. FC Clacton 3, Coggeshall 1. This result. Now, the reason we haven't done a midweek result of the week is because personally, I think this result deserves it because not only because of the impressiveness of it, but obviously circumstances surround it. So our result of the midweek goes without poll, and I'm sure you guys will agree, listening and watching, it goes to Dave Forbes' Frenford for their 3-2 victory over Romford. And obviously considering the circumstances and our thoughts, obviously, with Dave and Hope, everything went well today, mate. But yeah, that is a monumental result for Frenford, and it shows that they compete with the good sides at this level, Pete.
Well, they haven't lost to the top 2, have they? Because they drew with Woodford as well earlier in the season. That was up until Friday night the only points Woodford had dropped all season. So, but yeah, to beat Romford, that's Romford's first defeat of the season as well, and that's a huge result for Frenford, and Frenford's first 3 points in step 5. So
definitely,
I think someone was looking down on them that night for sure.
Definitely, and again, I'm if you see one coming from, I'm not trying to use what's happened or the occasion, obviously any which way at all, but obviously it was an emotional night, as we could tell, for them at Frenford. So, and when you're emotionally fired up, yeah, you could tell from they were putting their bodies online to get that result for Dave Senior and for Forbes himself.
But they might fire them on to get a run going now as well, because that's if you can beat Romford, you can beat most teams in this division. So that'll give them massive confidence going forward.
Yeah, very. I'm sure you would agree with that, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, it's been a bit of a difficult period for Frenford, really. I mean, not only on the pitch but off the pitch. But that just shows you how football is such a strange game, really. But the players have rose to the occasion. You look through a star-studded Romford lineup, really, and think they'd never get beat by a Frenford side man to man. But it shows you that football isn't just 11 players. It's about a team, isn't it? And obviously on the night they were far superior versus their opponents. So yeah, it's a great first win. I think it just gives players confidence and belief that although that you could be facing a tough opponent, you can break them down. Particularly at home. Obviously you've got a bit of a bigger crowd behind you. But yeah, anything's possible in football.
Definitely. Okay, and the other results in this. If we were doing a poll, this would definitely be up there. Well done to Halstead, a big result against Holbridge, but get a 2-1 win there. Just shows how tough the ESL is. Saffron Walden 1, Little Oakley 1 in Jason Mayer's first game back in charge. Stanway beat Ilford by 4-0. Now, there's one other result I haven't mentioned, and we're going to show you highlights of it now. And I think this would have been up there for result of the weekend as well, Pete. Or midweek, Buckhurst Hill 3, Athletic Newham 0. So over to our super commentator, Mr. Dudley again. for the highlights of this game. And as a Pete, commentary is all yours.
Okay, well, Bucko still seem to have found their feet now after a tough start. This was a ball in from the right-hand side and a lovely header to make it 1-0. Keeper and defender completely rooted to the spot. That was 1-0. That was a nice header, that. So 1-0 Buckhurst Hill, and then in the pouring rain,
Jesus,
eroding lane. I don't know what it was. I thought it was like an angel was appearing or something. They come out of the sky, out of the clouds. The ball just seemed to be holding up a bit on the pitch, but on we go. Nice ball down the left-hand side this time. Nice, that's a great ball in. And the Buckhurst Hill player coming on the far side, sort of heading towards goal, and the defender couldn't keep it out. Those balls, that ball across goal was just the ball you want to play across goal in those conditions.
Just for the perspective here, right? Look what the number 3 does. Like, you sure that weren't the? Yeah, you sure there's not an angel? Look what he does. Look. Maybe it was the angel appearing to him to attempt to cross the ball. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah.
So 2-0 Buckhurst Still, and obviously Newham are trying to get back in the game. After they had a tough day on Saturday. That's Richard Coney on the ball, I think. He loses it. Great tackle, and Buckhurst are going to break here. Nice football, actually, to get them into that position. A nice little skill there into the box, and a lovely finish into the far corner. That's a good spring attack from defence to attack there, definitely.
Definitely.
And it's just because. Athletic Newham. The thing is, everyone would have played. People playing on Saturday would have took a lot out of them, but Buckhurst still just seem to be in the groove now. After a tough start, they've now won 3 games in the league, and they've gone up to mid-table, and they're only 2 points off the top 5 now. That's how quickly it can change for you.
Hey, I'm going to ask you this, especially at the start of this, and probably towards the back end of last season. Would you agree that the key word for Buckhurst still is consistency?
I think that's for a lot of teams, Ad. It's if you're consistent enough, you'll always be up there. Because this division, as we well know, I mean, look at Coggeshall down the bottom. They've played 8 and lost 7 out of 8. Yeah, on Saturday they look really good. They're not easy for them to play against. They just haven't had the rubber green so far. There's a case every team in the league on their day can beat any team in that division. Everyone has a case to win. So if you're consistent enough, you'll be in the playoffs. But I think with Buckhurst still, I think now if they can go on a good run, then they could get themselves in that promotion picture. But no one would have said that at the start of the season after all the changes. But they've got and of course they've got Sully back.
I was just about to say that.
That is a huge signing because he was instrumental in their rises through the division. He was probably their best player. And
that is massive for him.
To have him back, and in his first game back, he scored a stoppage time winner, didn't he, on Saturday? Just couldn't have written it anymore because you. But that's going to give them a massive boost, and I think it will galvanise the side. And it's showing now they've won both games since he's been back. So that's massive. He was one of their better players before he left, and now he's back. I think they will certainly be a much better. They'll definitely be a much better side with him in it. That's for sure.
Definitely. Okay, right. There's 2 games took place last night. The highlighted one is Woodford versus West Essex. And thanks to Ashley for his highlights of this. Great local derby in this one. So, Pete, it's over to you on the commentary mic again. Just a couple of seconds time.
Again, overtime for all of these commentary.
Yes. Woodford West Essex.
Woodford West Essex. So obviously. Woodford wanted to get back to winning ways after obviously losing the cup game. And you can hear the old town is in the background. We'll have that again, shall we? It was so good we had to see it again. So ball forward, a bit of head tennis. West Essex try clear the ball, but obviously with high press, will eventually win. That's a poor error on West Essex, and Parrott seemed to give him the lead. You can't give Luke Parrott a chance like that. That was all of West Essex is doing, unfortunately. So that gave him the lead.
Oh, nice free kick! Wow.
It was Luke Parrott again, I believe. For the second goal.
Even the ball boy likes it.
Yeah, no, so he's on the dance to the tune there. So 2 goals, 2-0 Woodford. How would West Essex respond? Well, with a free kick of their own, which,
was bamboozled everyone.
Oh, wow.
That's the ball leads up in there, the keeper should be catching that. He's trying to claim a foul, which every keeper tries to do. And it was given. Sorry, keepers, but you get protected too much. Anyway, it didn't affect Woodford as they drove down in the second half, find the ball in the far corner. I'll give you the goal score in a minute when the screen's on. That was a good finish to seal the game and give Woodford a 3-1 win. It was Ernest Ako who scored the third goal, and that was with 4 minutes to go to seal the 3-1 win. And another good crowd, it was 143, so another decent crowd at Ashton's. You could all hear them in the background. But full win for Woodford after, they'd lost the cup game and then snatched a late equaliser. They've got back to winning ways against a team in West Essex who were right up there with them. So that was an important result.
Big win, big result from them. Yeah. The other result last night was Sporting Bengal 5, Takeley 1. Sporting have done brilliantly on their return to senior football. And I've heard people, including people connected to the league, that have said that they're ones to watch. They could be a dark horses here. They look very good, Sporting Bengal.
Well, they've only lost one game all season so far. And apparently, they've got Chaka Barnett playing for them now as well. So
he used to play for me at Town Hamlets.
Yeah, and that's just one more addition to their brilliant attacking line they've already got. And Mark Maladzi scored an absolute worldie apparently as well. He's unbelievable too. They've got some great players and very entertaining to watch. I'll tell you that. I've seen them twice this season. It's not boring. So
yes.
They are the real deal.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at the results. Let's have a look at the table in the Essex Senior League, actually. Let's do this. So this is the ESL table for our viewers and listeners. So Woodford are the new leaders, only by 2 goals though. They are on the unbeaten side in the league, 6 wins from 8. Romford tied with them on 20 points. Then the rest of the playoff pack is West Essex, Sporting Bengal, and Great Wakering. You could say, I suppose, the top 4 there are pretty comfortable, and then they obviously they've got the Chasers. They're lucky. Halstead have started really well. Athletic Newham, FC Clacton and Tilbury. So it is getting very tight as everyone's trying to get towards them playoff bases. It's getting tight.
I'd say Halstead's probably surprising a few people as well where they are at the moment. Because I think some people have had them down as strugglers, or down in the bottom half at least. So really good start for them. Up there, right? Only a point off the top 5. So brilliant start for them.
Down at the bottom, down at the bottom is Cockeshaw, as we said, lost 7 from 8 with a solitary point. Only 1 going down this year, obviously. Ilford second bottom with 5. Frentford up to 18th with that win. Stanway and 17th. Saffron Walden and Holbridge will be looking to improve. But then again, if you look at Holbridge, Pete, we were just saying it, 5 points off the top 5. So it's not.
I think they would expect a better start than that. I think Rob said it earlier. They're probably disappointed with that. 8 points of 7 games. It's not a great return so far. And look at Tilbury; they're only mid-table with they got 11 points from 8, but then they're only 2 points off the top 5. But I think this team, the teams that have come down, like Tilbury and Holbridge, were people's picks to, Tilbury won the division, but they found it hard. It's a tough league, the senior league, and teams will come gunning for it because of where you come from. So I still expect them both to be up there coming in the season, but they found it a hard start, harder than they thought, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and what I will say about that as well is, Pete, obviously, I was talking to Gary Kimball last night, actually, at the Walthamstow-Whittam game, and we was talking, obviously, about how the Senior League has changed from when he was last managing it, when Whittam won the league 11 years ago, to what it is now. And we were just saying, and the step 6, as we've said many times, and I'll say on my Walthamstow programme piece this weekend, has helped change that. 10 years ago, Gary Kimball even said that you had teams turning up middle of the season, second half of the season, not bothered, Whittam and the teams will whip them. And now you've got something competitive all the way through.
Well, Whittam scored 122 goals in 30 games or something, didn't they? I mean, they're winning games 13-0 in some cases.
I remember they beat Clapton, I think.
You won't get that anymore. You don't get that anymore. The teams now are a lot. You know, they're much more drilled on the field. So it's unlikely you'll get teams getting beaten by double figures now. So I now apologise to anyone who loses by double figures this weekend. But, so I don't think it will happen. It's too competitive.
Definitely.
On a good side. So, you know, yeah, I can see his point of view there. For sure, I do agree with that. You won't get many teams walking. Well, no one's going to. I don't think anyone's going to walk away the league this season. I really don't. But back in those days, there were less teams, and there were some teams in that division who shouldn't have been there. So,
yeah, that's true. Just okay. Let's go on now to Third Island South, just quickly as well. Obviously, 2 of our clubs that are not in the family, but Essex based, are Holland and Stanway Pegasus leading the North Division quite healthily as well. So fair play to both of them. So that'll be interesting to see how they both do this season. First Division, Third Island South. Let's have a look at the results from that division over the weekend. Well done to Burnham. They got back on track by beating Brimsdown 2-0. Oh, that is considering Burnham had lost a few games, Pete, that's a massive result for them.
It is, because Brimsdown are one of the teams challenged them for the top 5. So, because it's very tight in that division, you win it. I mean, Burnham have gone into the top 5 as a result. So, and Brimsdown are down in 9th. I mean, it's crazy. There's only 3 points between them. So,
defo.
Yeah, big result for Burnham against a team who they would probably be challenging in the season. So,
yeah. Clapton Community 0, Hoddesdon 0. A massive result. Yeah, Bash has really done wonders at Clapton, didn't he, Peter? They beat Hutton by 2 goals to 1. Big result. Back-to-back wins as well. It
just shows you what a change can do. He's gone in there and they've beaten Burnham and Hutton at home. I mean, 2 sides who are probably challenging for promotion. I mean, obviously Hutton, that was their first defeat. No, sorry, it wasn't their first defeat, but they were league leaders going into that. So Clapton's a huge result, and they're now tied on 7 points with 3 other teams above them. It's very tight down the bottom as well as the top. So.
Definitely. Harlow beat Newbury Forest by 4 goals to 2. Northwest London kept up their recent good form with a 4-3 win over Dunmow. Parkview won Benfleet 4. Southend Manor and Enfield Borough shared the spoils in a 2-2 draw. Cannonswood came from 2 down to beat Tower Hamlets 3-2 at Mile End. And it was Wormley 3, Barkingside 0. See, this league, again, everyone is beating everyone. Midweek, it was Enfield Borough 1, Tower Hamlets 1. Southend Manor 1, Basildon Town 3. St Margaret's 3-0, Harlow 2. And then last night, it was in the League Cup, Benfleet 0, Cannonswood 0. I don't know who won that one, doesn't say on penalties. It must have been gone to penalties.
4-2 Benfleet.
Okay, yeah. Brimsdown, again, everyone beating everyone. Brimsdown 2, Parkview 3. Dunmow 3, Burnham 0, and Hackney Wick. Great result for them. They move up to 14th in the league, beating Hutton 2-0. So yeah, it's just everyone is beating everyone in this league this year.
It's not been a good week for Hutton, that's for sure. But then that's going to happen. If they've gone up a division, they're going to have a period when they're going to struggle. So they're still 4th after 9-10 games, so they'll take that.
17 points between 22nd and 1st. That's just brilliant.
Again, I mention it every week. Harlow, they haven't lost since that opening day thumping against Harton. But I will always maintain that was the best thing that happened to them, because they've reassessed and thought, right, maybe we should look at ourselves a bit more. And now they're 2 points clear at the top of the division. So and I think they've conceded something like 5 goals since that defeat in all their games since. So it's like, it just shows you sometimes a heavy lot. You learn more. I mean, Rob will know this as a manager. You learn a lot more from a defeat than you would from. Well,
I lost in every game in pre-season and have won both league games.
Maybe Rob's not the best person to ask, but normally you learn a lot from a heavy defeat or a defeat. You learn more than you do from a victory. So,
you do.
And I think Harlow learned a lot about themselves on the opening day. So
definitely,
they're now doing what everyone expects them to do.
Yeah. Let's have a look. And we're going to quickly look at the league table in that division now. So this is Rob. I'm going to start with your thoughts on this, by the way. So tell us your thoughts on the league table with new leaders, Harlow.
I've seen quite a few of these teams actually this season. I tend to get out and watch a few of these teams in action, and it is really interesting. As you say, I think Harlow would have been pre-season everyone's bets for being one of the sides up there, and as time has moved on, they are there now. Although of course they have played a game more than the sides right below them. It is super tight. I mean, I think this is going to go a long way into the season before you kind of get anybody kind of moving clear. But yeah, I'm pleased for the sides who have been promoted really out of Step 7 football. It shows the strength of the leagues feeding Step 6, that you've kind of got 3 of those and obviously a couple more who were previously Step 7 the year before in the promotion picture at the moment, which I think is really good. And as you said on the show last week, you were talking about how important this league has become. Really, it is, not to say that it's grassroots football, but it has become the link more so between Essex Senior and obviously what we call grassroots football at our level of the game. And a lot of these teams would never have dreamed to be at this level of football 5 years ago. It would never ever have crossed their minds, because it was too big a jump into the Essex Senior League. So it's really good to see those sides there. And also, it's shaken up the Essex Senior League quite a bit, because you've got a lot of sides who were kind of shoo-ins because they didn't have anywhere to go, now have had to drop a level because there is a level below them. But equally, I think those clubs it's helped them, because they're able to kind of go down a level, experience a bit more success. Maybe it costs a little less as well. So yeah, I mean, I think the sides that are thereabouts at the moment are kind of going to be there towards the end of the season. But that group of probably 12 clubs at the moment, or even more, isn't going to reduce down anytime soon, I don't think.
Definitely. 100% totally agree with you that one there, Rob. Rob, what we're going to do is we'll come on to the Essex Alliance League action in depth when we obviously do the cup draws as well. Let's have a quick look at the Olympian League, Pete. Now I know you like following this one. Let's have a quick look at the Premier Division games from the weekend. It was Canning Town 3, Old Southendians 4, Kelvedon Hatch 2, Catholic United 3, Lee Ramblers 6, Harold Wood 2.
Yeah. Harold would have another best of starts, let's put it that way.
Yeah. Rayleigh Town 2, Bishop Stortford Swifts 1, Runwell 3, Shenfield 2, and Sungate 4, Old Chelmsfordians 1. So, Pete, your thoughts?
Weren't not many. None of the results are really surprising. I think Rayleigh are obviously still the ones who lead the way with Catholic. Rayleigh Catholic, we're battling out. Sungate certainly look like ones who are going to be right in the mix as well. They are obviously, they won out Catholic, so that was Catholic's only defeat. Catholic won all their games apart from that one. So Sungate are actually the only unbeaten team in the division now. I would say it's probably those 3 are probably going to be the ones battling it out. Old Southendian have had a good start as well, 4 wins from 5, and they fancy themselves this season as well. So you can make a case for quite a few teams in that division, to be honest. But I would probably say the top 3, definitely top 2, And I'd definitely have Sungate in the promotion race as well, because I think they are very ambitious. Hence, they moved to Brentford.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unfortunately for Ian's Harold Wood Athletic, they found life tough. They've scored 12 goals in their games, but they've conceded 19. So
the entertaining games.
Yeah, they're finding it. I mean, obviously, there's a bit of a gap between the Division 1 and the Premier. The Premier is very good, very tough division, as is Division 1. But they've not had the best of starts. But Canning Town have also had a pretty poor start as well. So, yeah, I don't think there's too many surprises. So, I think, yeah, top 3, I'm not really surprised by that. I think maybe slightly surprised that Springfield haven't started, but they only played 4 games. So, it's still early days, very early days at the moment.
There's an interesting tie come up in the Anagrams Trophy. Rayleigh Town are playing FC Baresi in the Anagrams Trophy, which are the top 2 of the 2 leagues at the moment. So that'll be and I think it's at Rayleigh or wherever they're going to play the game. But that'll be a real good test of the top 2 sides in those leagues, won't it?
That'd be a good barometer between the divisions, yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Okay. So Division 1 results: ACD United 0, Herringate Athletic 4. Gallywood and Corinthians drew 1-1. Harold Hill, I should say, 3. Epping Town 1 at Henderson's. Hashtag United Development got a massive 9-1 win over Shoebury Town over at Forest Glade, and it was May and Baker 0 Manford Drive. Manford Way 1.
Manford Drive. You just renamed them.
Manford Way 1.
That was a bit of a humbling experience for Shoebury, unfortunately, who haven't started. I thought they'd be doing better than they are. It's been obviously John Galley moved across to BKS Sports and has Gary and handed the reins over to Gary Johnson at Shoebury, and it's been a tough start for them so far, unfortunately. And that 9-1 was definitely a tough day at the office against a hashtag Development, who have won 3 out of 4 so far. So they've had a good start to the season.
Okay, let's have a quick look at the tables in the top 2 Olympian divisions. Please go onto the Olympian website to get the rest of the results. This is the Premier Division table. Rayleigh lead the way along with Catholic and Sungate, and South Indians are doing well as well. I think Sungate, the only unbeaten side. I do think you are right there, Pete, that they will be. All 3 of them will definitely be in the mix. As I am surprised with Springfield, but it's only 4 games. It's only, you never know. Down at the bottom, Ian, Harold Wood are down at the bottom.
Oh, Harold Wood, pathetic. Yeah.
He's just renamed him now.
He's only a fair weather supporter.
Yes.
I might have to go up there. I might have to go up the hill to Harold Hill instead.
Oh no! Don't do that. Oh wow!
Yes, that's traitorous. That's very bad betrayal. But as Pete said, fair enough. 12 goals. They show this Pete that they can score, but they've got not bad attacking wise, but bad defensively.
Yeah, but then there's 6 of those goals come in 1 game, so 13-4 isn't terrible, but you need to keep them out of the back, really.
Yes. Well, I mean, look, Harold Hill won 5 out of 5, is sitting proudly top of the Division 1 table, Ian.
See what I mean?
Yeah, but then don't look at them. But Harold Wood won Division 1 last season. I'm just putting it out there.
Right.
It's much tougher when you get promoted.
But their reserves are down at the bottom here, look.
Yeah, they've only played 2 games, to be honest. Haven't scored a goal yet either. But I mean, Gallywood are down in 10th, and they just got relegated. So, they've obviously had a tough last couple of years, or year and a bit. So, but yeah, Harold Hill is great. That's good. They're a nice club, Harold Hill. And,
that is, I don't know if you know, but that's Gary Beachy, who came across from Oakside in the Alliance last year. He took his team over to Harold Hill, so they've got some Step 7 experience between them.
They're definitely, they're definitely showing it so far.
Fair play to Hashtag in that in their game. They literally more than doubled their goal tally.
Yeah, exactly. I think
one game.
I'm not surprised to see Corinthians and Wakering Sports up there as well, because that's Wakering Sports' reserve team from last year, I think.
Yeah.
I think they promoted them to first team, and they're continuing their good form. So that'll be an interesting battle at the top of that division for sure.
Definitely. It will be, yes. So well done to them. Just quickly, in the Olympian League Premier this weekend, we got a bit of a local derby, by the way, between Harold Wood and Sungate. That'll be interesting.
That will be tough for Harold Wood, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So just quickly, Olympian Premier fixtures: Kelvedon versus Lee, Old Chelmsfordians versus Old Southendians. I fancy one of the old sides to win that. Runwell Boys against Canning Town. Springfield against Raleigh Town, and Toby versus Catholic United, and Shenfield versus Bishops Stortford Swifts. So very, very interesting there. Pete, anything that stands out there for you?
I think the old derby. I mean, they're as fifth against fourth as well, so that might be a decent match. I'd say that's probably the one. Springfield Raleigh could be interesting. I think Springfield will probably get up that division. We only play 4 league games, and then most teams only play 5 anyway. But I think once Springfield get going, they'll do okay. So I think that could be an interesting matchup between them as well.
Definitely. Yes. So interesting results there. The old derby could make some new memories. You never know.
They could do, yeah.
Definitely. In the Essex, let's have a look. The Essex Corinthian League this weekend. Just quickly go through the top 2 divisions in that division. Beatty Squad 4, London All Stars 1, Brook Athletic 4, Total Football 0, and Critics 0, Fly FC 0. And in Division 1, Barking and Dagenham Wanderers 4, St Augustine's 2, Barking Riverside 2, Benchviews 3. Are they all substitutes there? And JK Silvertown 1, AC Milano 6. So an old combination ding dong there, which is very interesting. So interesting teams in that division there. And for GFS purposes, we'll look at Division 5. Ace Athletics 1, Mansfield Rangers 3, Coppice Rose 6, Lonsdale 2. And an interesting Division 5 game, Man Baker 2, Athletic Newham 0. Yeah, which is quite interesting. Now, one thing I do need to ask you, Mr. Parker, is how come Damien is the only person in your team in Division 5 that hasn't even played yet? Have you stopped him from playing, or was he being lazy?
Well, certainly wasn't us who stopped him from playing. I think he chose that himself. I think he's trying to get his squad built together, ready for the season.
He's on holiday at the moment.
Probably that didn't help either. So yeah, the later start suited him, I think.
Oh dear.
I think he's got Lonsdale this weekend. So
he needs to bathe in his swimming pool for a bit before he starts the season.
He needs to get his wallet out and pay. Maybe he's.
I've seen pictures of him in his swimming pool because he sent us photos, didn't he? So, but yeah, interesting to see how they do. Is this the first time? This is the first time because obviously the league they were in folded, didn't it? So
yeah, yes,
it's the Murray derby this week. I don't know if you know who Murray is.
Oh God, no, not Murray.
Murray used to play for Hainault. Now he plays for Lonsdale. So
Murray God, the Murray derby. Right, okay. Welcome, hello to obviously everyone from the Brentwood Sunday League as well. This is how those teams got on this weekend. In the senior division, it was Briar United 1, Herringate Athletic 12, CFC Raynham 5, Shenfield 2, Campion Old Boys 2, Emerson Park 7, and Crumpled Checkers, sounds like a ball game, 4, the Gardeners 4. Division 1, it was Barnes Sports 3, Havering Invicta 2, Breeson's Manor 1, Hornchurch Oakmont 11, Chafford 13 2, Hornchurch Royals 0, Emerson Park 8, Emerson Park 8, Highonger 4, and this is an interesting one. In the Harold Derby, it was Harold Hill 2, Harold Wood Athletic 3.
Harold Wood 1?
Yeah.
Actually won something. Blooming it.
Yes, the
One of
Sunday team beat Harold
One of their
Hill.
teams won a game. There we go.
Wow. Wow.
Big
There you
crowd
go.
there. I wonder if they
All
put a
is-
coach on for the away supporters.
All is not lost.
Yes. Yes. Well done, Harold Wood. They are 6th in the table of that one. In Division 2, let's have a look who would here in Division 2. Nishman versus Herringate Reserves was called off. Royal Alexandra Sunday 1, Harold Hill Reserves 1. And South Shell Hannekins 1, Hannekins Farm 3. Hannekins to win that one.
Farm,
yeah. St Eagles 0, Great Danes 12. And what's this one? Debden Sports Club Brentwood. Debden Sports Club Brentwood.
There's a story behind it, but I won't go into it. Martin will tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure Martin will tell us.
Yeah, Debden 9, Upminster 2, but who cares about that? So and finally Division 3. I'm going to message him now. GFC 4, Tigers 4, Harold Wood Reserves 3, Imperial Row 3. Maybe Ian should swap their Sunday and Saturday sides around. Pitsea Town 4, Project 10 0, Portville 4, Worley 0, and West Oviedo 6, Old Cooperians 1. So Howard's team not doing very well there. Anyway, we're going to take a break and we're going to be back on GFS in just a few minutes' time with the Essex Alliance League Cup draws. So Ian, take it away in celebration of Harold Wood.
Okay. I'm going to play some music that you guys can't hear because Zoom won't allow it. So we're going to play Don't Stop the Music.
Damn
you won't hear
Zoom.
it.
Don't stop the music.
Yes.
I was going to do something then. Oh, we go. Oh, hello.
Is Ian playing the tuba or something?
I don't know. I thought I was in a jazz club.
I'm muting this. Okay.
That sounds like me trying to sing when I'm drunk. I forget I'm live on YouTube saying all this as well, but I don't really care. Hilarious.
Oh dear. Blooming mad, isn't it? Yes. So yeah, how are you been anyway, Rob?
Busy. Very, very busy. Yes.
Oh dear. Come on to that later then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, no.
Yes. So Premier League's back and Championship's back this weekend.
Great. I've got to stress over teams again. No, I don't really stress over them, so.
I don't even look at the fixtures for Chelsea at the moment. It's just,
I don't blame you, to be honest. I'm the same though. I'm so invested in the games I cover. I don't really look at the top divisions.
No.
I see you've asked Martin about that Dibton thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's typing. Bless him. Oh dear.
I'll give you a broad explanation. It's to do with the order of teams in the club.
Right. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Well,
So yeah, everything else is good with everyone.
Yeah.
We're still here, aren't we? We're still here.
Yeah.
The world's still turning. Everything's fine.
Yeah. Everything's good. Yes. Pete's going to Norway, aren't you, next week?
Wednesday night, next Wednesday night. But
is it cold out there at the moment, or is it what temperature do you see?
It's about 15, 16 degrees where I'm going.
Perfect. After what happened at the weekend, we had a referee collapse at the weekend, didn't we? In one of our games, got abandoned.
Really? Yeah. It was it was very hot, so it's. The thing is, if you don't hydrate yourself and if you don't take on enough fluids, it's going to be, especially in that heat. I mean, it was 90 degrees. It was absolutely baking. So I'm surprised it didn't have more, to be honest.
And it's back to the studio. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Ian. Welcome back to GFS. It's just gone 8 o'clock on this Thursday evening. We're going to do, before we go to the Cup Draws, we're going to do some shout outs. I'm going to do the first shout out of the week. Shout out to Charlotte, the other half, lovely lot. Shout out to Ella and the kids as well. Also shout out to everyone at Walthamstow and everyone who knows me. Also shout out to Pete's mum and Pete's brother, who will be looking forward to hosting him in Norge this time.
Looking forward, did you say?
Norge, yes.
Norge?
Norge. And is it Norge?
Norge.
Norge.
Norge, yeah.
What did you say? I thought you said Norwich then. I was like, what?
I'm not going to Norwich. I might fly over it on the way out.
Yeah. You're going to Norway, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, looking forward to it?
Yes, I am. So I thought you were doing shout outs and somebody has stopped.
But yes, Pete, over to you for shout outs.
Yeah. I haven't got a shout out to really. I'm not very prepared with this. I'll just give a shout out to all the people listening to us. You know, it's great that people still listen to us. I think I love the fact that people do take the time to listen to us or listen to the recordings, because it does make it worthwhile. A shout out to our fellow GFS colleagues, wherever they are tonight. I hope they're doing okay. And well, we know where Damo is. He's sunning himself in Spain. But
yeah, he's sitting in a hot tub. Yeah, Martin's probably washing his curtains. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just probably washing his curtains. That'd be an interesting sight. But yeah, no, I always wish our listeners well and people in the football world and beyond, because they are good people, and they're always there to listen to us, and I think that's nice. I think it's good. So yeah,
definitely. Okay, Rob, shout outs to you.
Yeah, similar theme. I'm not going to go quite so philosophical with this one, but it'd just be a shout out to obviously all the people hopefully listening from the Essex Alliance League and for their draws this evening. Good luck to all of you in the cups this season. The cups are always, I think, something we all look forward to, aren't they? So particularly the finals, and also to anybody listening from the Crimfin League as well. We've been out and about. It's good to see some football at the start of the season. Been a bit warm so far, I think, for a lot of the teams, but I'm sure that will turn pretty quickly. So shout out to all of those.
Definitely. And shout out to Howard as well, Howard Parker. I hope he's listening on his Alexa tonight.
He never realises it's on, so he always listens to the recording after.
Yeah. Oh, bless him. Yeah. He's doing all right though, yeah?
Yes. He's doing okay. The old boy.
Good. Okay. Well, now it's draw time. Essex Alliance League draw time. So we've got how many cups have we got to draw tonight?
We're doing 5 tonight.
5. High five, definitely. Yes. Yes. So we've got we've got 5 cups to be drawn in tonight, and these teams obviously will stay longer in the cup than Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, these are the amount of cups that Spurs fans could only dream of. 5 opportunities, they'd still blow it. But yes, yeah.
This is Adam's view, not the view of the show. I want to put it out.
Yes, this is my personal view. Rob, did you want to go backwards or forwards? Do you want to start low Division 3 and work up?
Yeah, I like to start in reverse order. So we'll start with Division 3 because it's of course the most important division for reasons that. Okay,
in that case, we'll start with Division 1. I'm joking. Yeah. Right.
Okay, so I'm going to try it for the
screen
benefit.
sharing should be where it should be on. I have enabled it, so.
But it says host disabled participant screen sharing.
I haven't, because I definitely did do it. So. Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll do it the way we done it last year, then, shall we? I'll just read them out as we go. Is that okay?
What I'll do, what I'll do is for those on YouTube, I will do on the public chat. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Right. So we're going to start with the Division 3 Cup. The teams competing in this one: Beckton Sporting Club, Broadway Athletic. Both of those are new teams. Buckhurst Way, Changing Lives, a new team in the league this year. Collier Row Wheels, Glendale, Melbourne Sports, Newham and Havering Borough, Old Parkonians, who are new this year, Romford Flyers, and Woodford Town under 23s. So the format of this is we've got 3 first round ties, which we'll draw out first of all, and then we'll plug the gaps in the second round, which is actually the quarterfinals, with the teams that are remaining. So without further ado, we're going to spin the wheel for those who want. Unfortunately, you just have to listen to my voice for this one, but
I'm trying to see if I can get the screen sharing, so just bear with me.
That's fine. Okay, so we'll do with the Division 3, and the first team that's been drawn out at home is Changing Lives. So they'll be at home in the first round. The next team to be drawn out are Woodford Town under 23. So Changing Lives will play Woodford Town. Okay. The second of the first round ties, we have Old Parkonians at home.
Anything to do with you, by any chance?
I'm afraid not. And they will be playing Collier Row Wheels. The wheels will be rolling there.
Yes, they will.
No, you're trying for a pun. I know you was.
I know. I was thinking of one actually. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, the last of the first round games, we'll see Newham and Havering Borough. Yep. They'll be at home, and they will be facing Romford Flyers.
Romford Flyers. Okay, that'll be interesting.
Okay. So it's 5 teams left. So we're on to the quarter-final draws now. So I'll explain how what these come out as we go. The first will be a home draw. So the first quarter-final, it's Broadway Athletic, who will start their cup progress in the quarterfinals with a home game. And they will be at home to the winners of Match A, which is Changing Lives or Woodford Town. So in the second of the quarterfinals, the winner of Match B, which was Old Parkonians or Collier Row Wheels, they will be at home and they will be facing Melbourne Sports.
So would you say again, Old Parkonians or
Collier Row Wheels
against Melbourne?
Melbourne Sports, yeah.
Okay. Versus Melbourne. Yeah, got that.
Okay, the third of the quarterfinals. So it'd be Match C, which is Newham and Havering Borough or Romford Flyers. I'll give you a few seconds to type that one because that's a lot of words.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, go on.
And they will be at home in the third of the ties to, it's gone right on the line, Beckton Sporting Club. So Beckton Sporting Club. Another long one for you to type there.
Yeah, that's going to take me about all night. Yeah, but carry on.
Okay, so we're on to the last of the quarterfinals, and this is a straight draw.
Who's in
this
that?
one. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So the home side is Buckhurst Way.
Yeah.
And there's only one team left.
Wonder who that is.
I'll return to Buckhurst Way for the second time this season for Glendale.
Who?
Yeah, some team. Okay,
so some team would play by a hedge, yes.
So do you want to run through those, Adam, or shall I run through those?
Yes, so in the Division 3 Cup first rounds, it is Changing Lives versus Woodford Town under 23s. You've then got Old Parkonians versus Collier Row Wheels. And then you have got Newham and Havering Borough versus the Romford Flyers. In the quarterfinals, we have Broadway Athletic versus Changing Lives or Woodford Town under 23s. Old Parkonians or Collier Row Wheels versus Melbourne Sports. Newham and Havering Borough or Romford Flyers versus Beckton Sporting Club. And Buckhurst Way versus Glendale. So, yes, that will be... So, I mean, you know that division better than what we do. So, what stands out there for you, Pete? And Rob, I mean...
Well, I mean, the teams who have started off the season pretty well. Woodford Town have had 2 big wins. They won, I think, 17-0 in the first weekend and then 4-0 on the second week. So, you know, you'd have a young side coming out of youth football for the first time this year. So they're looking decent. Broadway, another new side, have had a couple of good wins. Well, they've won one. I think one was awarded. So it's difficult at the early stage of the season. Obviously, we've had a couple of wins ourselves. So you don't know. I mean, it's early doors. I think there's a couple of sides that are going to get cut adrift a little bit as the season moves on. But I always say, cup football, anything can happen. One performance and you're in a quarter final. In our case, one performance, we could be in a semi-final. So, you know, it's one of those occasions. That doesn't matter what goes on in the league, does it? You get 90 minutes of football under your belt and you're through to the next round. So anything's possible.
Pete, is there anything that you want to add to that?
All I'd say is I just alluded to Rob there about the cup games. The amount of times I've seen finals where teams who have struggled in the division end up in the final of their divisional cup. So it can make your team season having a cup run like that, and obviously playing the final at a football league ground as well. It's a good thing for them to do. So sometimes league form doesn't mean anything when you play cup football. So you win a couple of games, you could be in a final. So yeah, easy as that. Well, not easy, but you know what I mean. It's 2 good performances, and you could have a big day out. So.
Excellent. Okay, so we'll move on to the Division 2 Cup now, shall we? And this is also 11 teams. So we're running a similar format in this one. So the teams going into this: Chadwell Heath Spartans reserves, Chingford Harriers, Collier Row reserves, Dagenham United reserves, Fairlock Rovers reserves, Brentford A, Old Barcabians, Raynham and Barking Phoenix, Redbridge Community Reserves, Romford A, and Royal Forest. So once again, we will have 3
Just give me 1 sec, because I'm still trying.
We've got 3 first round ties.
I'm still trying to get this to screen share, so yeah.
That's all right. I think we tried this last year, didn't we? We failed. Got to love technology, haven't you? Life was so much simpler with ping pong balls, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hang on, right. So who can share?
It was really sad when I had to throw the ping pong balls away when I cleared the studio out. Sad. It really.
Not my ones, Ian. I've got mine. Don't worry. I kept mine safe.
Yeah.
Hold on to your balls, mate. Hold on to your balls.
Oh,
good advice.
God.
Good advice.
Yeah, no, good.
Well, it's good advice. Always check your balls. They do say that.
True.
Yes,
yeah,
they do actually. Yes. Yeah, they're all perfect from this kind of thing. Right, I can't find this screen sharing thing, so we'll just have to go with it, Rob. Sorry.
That's fine. That's right. We'll get it right for next year, shall we? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the 3 first round ties, we will start now with the draw. So the first team at home in the first round of the Division 2 Cup will be Brentford A. They'll be at home.
Yeah.
They will be facing Collier Row Reserves. Collier Row Reserves there will be travelling to Ilford. In the second of the first round ties, we have got Romford A at home. Another A team at home. And they will be taking on Chadwell Heath Spartans Reserves, who, of course, are the holders of the competition after their shock win in a way last year against the odds anyway. So well done.
Did you say that was Chadwell Heath?
Chadwell Heath Spartans Reserves, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers. Thanks.
The last of the first round ties, we'll see Chingford Harriers at home. And they will be taking on, it's on the line, Fairlock Rovers Reserves.
Okay. Fairlock Rovers Reserves. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. We might have a bit of luck with the screen sharing.
Oh.
What? Yes. Right. Share screen. Yes. Right. Try it now, Rob.
Oh, it looks better. Let's see.
Yes. Here we are.
All right. So we're now on to the quarterfinals. So we've got 5 teams left. So I'll pick these out as we go. So the first quarterfinal, we're looking for a home team. And that will be Raynham and Barking Phoenix, who emerged over the summer. It was Raynham Phoenix and Barking Potters. They are now one, which is good. And they will be facing the winner of match A. So that's Friendford A or Collier Row Reserves. For the benefit of Adam, taking his notes down, if he's still doing that, probably not. Okay, so in the second of the quarter-final ties, it will be the winner of match B, which was Romford A or Chadwell Heath Spartans Reserves, and they will be taking on Dagenham United Reserves. Okay. We're on to the penultimate quarter-final tie now, and this will see the winner of match C, which was either Chingford Harriers or Fairlock Rovers Reserves, and they will be taking on Redbridge Community Reserves. Okay, and just the two teams left, so straight draw for this one. The home side in the final quarter-final will be Old Barcabians, and they will face, of course, Royal Forest. Okay, Adam, did you want me to read those out, or do you want to do those yourself? You're on mute.
Yes, could you read them out, please? Yep.
Yeah, so in the first round, well, I'll do quarterfinals, make it easier. So Raynham and Barking Phoenix will face either Friendford A or Collier Row Reserves. Romford A or Chadwell Heath Spartans Reserves will face Dagenham United Reserves in the second quarterfinal. Chingford Harriers or Fairlock Rovers Reserves will face Redbridge Community Reserves in the third quarterfinal. And in the last one, Old Barcabians will face Royal Forest. Okay, so are we happy to move on to the next cup competition?
Yes, we are. And with the screen sharing, that you are watching live coverage of the Essex Alliance League Cup draws here on East London Radio. Unfortunately, now we've got the wheel here. Unfortunately, I know it looks like Wheel of Fortune. Unfortunately, we haven't got Nikki Campbell or Carol Smiley, so we'll just have to make do with Rob Parker.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
No.
I'm sure I'll do a better job of it anyway. Right. Okay, so we're on to the Division 1 Cup. This has got 10 sides in it, so we've got two first round draws to do. The teams involved: Chingford Athletic Reserves, Eagles Football, Freetown, Haringey United, Limewell Gardens under-23s, Ocean Pacific, Old Estamians, Royal Lions, Saint City and Woodford East Reserves. Okay, so the first round, first tie, and the team at home in those first ties will be Chingford Athletic Reserves. And they will be at home facing Eagles Football. So Chingford Athletic versus Eagles Football. And the last of the first round ties, the home side will be Old Estamians, under new management this year. And they will be at home taking on Royal Lions. So that completes the first round. We now move on into the quarterfinals. And in the first of those quarterfinals, the first home side drawn out will be Saint City, who have had a great start to the season so far. They're doing well. And they will be visited by Woodford East Reserves. Interesting tie, that one. Okay, in the second of the quarterfinals, we have the winner of match A, which is Chingford Athletic Reserves or Eagles Football. And they will be taking on at home Freetown. So Freetown will visit the winner of that game. In the next of the quarterfinals, the third of them, the home side here will be Haringey United. And they will be at home against Ocean Pacific. Bit of a journey there for the away side.
I was going to say, yeah, in the middle of the Pacific.
And the last of the games will see, obviously, Limewell Gardens under-23s at home, and they will be facing the winner of match B, which was Oldies or Royal Lions. That concludes that draw.
Yeah, do you want to go over that first, Rob?
I shall. So in the quarterfinals, so it'll be Saint City versus Woodford East Reserves. The winner of match A, which was Chingford Athletic Reserves or Eagles Football, will face Freetown. Haringey United will face Ocean Pacific, and Limewell Gardens under-23s will face either Old Estamians or Royal Lions. Okay, so that's the last of the small competitions to draw. We're moving on now into the Premier Cup, if we're happy to do so.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get me document open here. So big competition, this one, because we combine the two divisions, so East and West, which means we have 24 entries in this competition. So in the first round, we've got 8 ties to draw out in this one too. And I'll read through the names. So Athletic Newham A, Barkingside under 21s, Belfry, Dagenham United, Fairlop Rovers, FC Baresi Reserves, Leighton City, London Cranes, London Park City, Newbury Athletic, Newham Wanderers, North East Lions, Ongar Town, Phillip United, Redbridge Community, Renegades, Snaresbrook, Something from Nothing, Seoul, Southend City, Unity, Waltham Abbey A, Wanstead and Wapping. Okay, so we'll start with the first round in this competition, and the first team to be drawn out is Leighton City. So they'll be at home, and they will be facing Fairlop Rovers. It's an all East Division derby, that one. So in the second of the first round ties, we will have Barkingside under 21s. And they will be facing Waltham Abbey A. So Waltham Abbey A will be travelling to Barkingside. In the third of those ties, we have FC Baresi Reserves. And they will be at home facing Ongar Town.
Ooh.
In the next of the first round ties, Redbridge Community, first team. They'll be at home at Old Parks, and they'll be facing North East Lions. I know Simon's listening, so that's your draw, Simon. In the fifth tie of the first round, we have Seoul. Got lots of that.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah.
And they'll be facing Phillip United, who have had a great start to the season, actually. Very highly rated side. So that's a tough draw for Seoul there.
Philip will be all right on his own.
Yeah. Renegades are the next side drawn out. Of course, they were winners of our Division 1 Cup last year, so they got some good pedigree in the cup competition. And Renegades will be visited by London Park City. Okay. 2 more ties to do in the first round. And we begin with Belfry, who return this year to the league. And they'll be at home in the first round, taking on Snaresbrook. Ooh, now that looks like a tasty game, that one. Belfry versus Snaresbrook.
Right, here we go. So to recap, this is the first round.
One more. Oh, one more.
Sorry.
You're a bit preemptive. Right, okay. And Newham Wanderers are the home team in the 8th tie here. And they'll be facing Wanstead. So Newham Wanderers versus Wanstead. Okay, Adam?
Okay. Yes, so in the first round, we've got Leighton City versus Fairlop Rovers. Barkingside's under 21s against Waltham Abbey A. FC Baresi Reserves against Ongar Town. Redbridge Community against the North East Lions. Seoul against Phillip United. Renegade versus London Park City. Belfry versus Snaresbrook. And Newham Wanderers versus Wanstead. So are we on to the quarterfinals?
No, the second round, this one, because of the size of the competition. So we've got second round draw now. Obviously, the quarterfinals will flow out of that, but that will just be on the website for you to see. So in the first of the second round games, it'll be the winner of match A, which is Leighton City or Fairlop Rovers. And they will be at home taking on Southend City. So Southend City will visit one of those 2 sides in the second round.
Not a far journey from that.
In the second of the second round games, the winners of match 2, which was Barkingside under 21s or Waltham Abbey A, well, they will be the hosts in their game, and they'll be taking on London Cranes. Okay, so in the third of the second round games, we're looking for a home team here. and that will be Unity. So Unity will have a home draw in the second round, and they'll be facing the winners of match 3, which was FC Baresi Reserves and Ongar Town. In the fourth of the ties, we winners of match 4, which was Redbridge Community or North East Lions. Well, they will have a home draw, and they will be taking on Something from Nothing. We had a good season last year, got to the County Cup semi-final, and were promoted from their division. In the next tie, we have the winners of match 5, which was Seoul or Phillip United, and they're facing the winners of match 6, which is Renegades or London Park City. Got that one, Adam?
Yeah.
In the next tie, we are looking for both a home and away side, and the home side will be Dagenham United. They'll be at home in the second round, and they will be facing Athletic Newham A. Athletic Newham A will visit Dagenham United. Penultimate tie to come out now, and we're looking for a home team in this draw as well. So the host side here will be Wapping, and they will face the winners of match 7, which was, to remind you, Belfry or Snaresbrook. And of course, that only leaves one side. The winners of match 8, which was Newham Wanderers or Wanstead, and they'll of course face Newbury Athletic.
Okay, so let's recap those. So you got Leighton City or Fairlock Rovers versus Southend City. Barkingside under 21 to Waltham Abbey A versus the London Cranes. Unity versus FC Baresi Reserves or Ongar Town. Redbridge Community or North East Lions versus Something from Nothing. Seoul or Phillip United versus Renegade or London Park City. Dagenham United versus Athletic Newham A. Wapping versus Belfry or Snaresbrook. Newham or Wanstead versus Newbury Athletic.
Correct. Okay, so that just leaves one. It's the Senior Cup draw now.
I have personal interest in this one.
Definitely. Yeah, let's try and get them a good draw, So we've got 15 entrants into this one. We've had one side opt out of taking part. It's a midweek competition once again this year, the Senior Cup. So we don't force teams to take part if they don't want to. But 15 sides have decided to take part, which I think was the same number as last year, actually. So one team will obviously get a bye straight through into the quarterfinals. Everybody else will have a tie in the first round. So the teams taking part will be Averley under 23s, Bakers 693, Chadwell Heath Spartans, Chingford Athletic, CSM London, FC Baresi, FC Petrocub, the holders, Brentford Reserves, Haringey Borough under 23s, Hit Out London, Lymore Gardens, Priory Park Rangers, Rapid Chingford, Walthamstow Reserves, and Woodford East. Okay, so we have a total of 7 first round ties to draw, and we'll get underway. So in the first round, Lymore Gardens will be at home. So they have a home tie over in Leighton. And they'll be facing, right on the board of that one, FC Petrocub. Oh, okay, that's a tasty one first up. The holders will go to Leighton. Okay, the second tie, home side will be Kit Out London. The Note Kill base side there. They'll be at home facing Averley under 23s. So Averley will go to Note Hill.
Not far from.
Not too far. The third tie we'll see Rapid Chingford, who of course were our Fenton Cup winners the year before. And they will be at home. Not sure where, because I'm not sure they're about to play at Lakeside, but they'll be playing Walthamstow Reserves.
Oh,
bit of a derby game.
Yeah, Waltham Forest derby, even though they're playing Lakeside.
Yes, yes. Yes, the battle of the roundabout, you might say, the crooked billet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
The next
good
tie,
side, Rapid, I must say.
Good side, yeah. Next tie to be drawn out is Bakers 693.
Who?
Man Baker. Man Baker.
Okay.
Under their new renewed name. And they'll be facing Woodford East. Woodford East will travel to Bakers 693. And in the next tie, Chingford Athletic will have a home game. And they will be facing CSM London. So the two promoted sides there going head to head. In fact, the two sides who played in our inaugural playoff final in last summer. So they'll renew acquaintances. And two more to go in the first round, two more ties. And the first of those will see Friendford Reserves at home. And the visitors to the drive will be Chadwell Heath Spartans. Chadwell Heath Spartans will travel to Ilford, not too far for them either. So one more tie before we obviously have the bye as well. So the last tie we'll see hosted by Haringey Borough. And the visitors to Coles Park will be Priory Park Rangers. Tough tie for them, I think, but they'll, it's a cup tie, as we say, so anything's possible, especially midweek. Okay, so that completes the first round. Adam, did you want to go through those before we?
Yes. Okay. So it's Linmore Gardens versus FC Petrocub, Kit Out London versus AB under 23s, Rapid Chingford against Walthamstow Reserves, Baker's 693 against Woodford East, Chingford Athletic against CSM London, Friendford Reserves against Chadwell Heath Spartans, and Haringey Borough under 23s against Priory Park Rangers. And I believe that means Barazy are the team with the bye.
Barazy are the team with the bye, and they will face the winners of match E, which is Chingford Athletic or CSM London, and they'll be away in that tie.
Yes. So they're away in that tie, yeah?
They're away, yeah. So winners of match E will face FC Barazy.
Chingford or CSM. Okay, yep.
Okay. Yep. All right. So do you want me to go through the quarterfinals and just outline who's got who in that one as well?
Have you done that draw already then?
Yeah, it's A versus B, so it's kind of mapped out mostly, isn't it? So match A, so it'd be Limewell Gardens or FC Petrocub will face Kit Out London or Aveley under 23s. In the second tie, Rapid Chingford or Walthamstow Reserves will face the winners of Baker's 693 and Woodford East. The winners of match E, which is Chingford Athletic or CSM London, as we mentioned, will play FC Barazy. And finally, Friendford Reserves or Chadwell Heath Spartans will face Haringey Borough under 23s or Priory Park Rangers. And dates for those ties, as I say, there'll be midweek games. We'll get out to the clubs and give them the time frames. But yeah, they'll be hopefully on mostly Tuesday or Wednesday evenings from the autumn onwards.
Okay. Thank you, Rob.
No problem.
Yes, excellent. Interesting draws there. So what we're going to do now, obviously, we're going to talk about all things Alliance League, and let's have. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the results from the top divisions in that league. We'll start with the week. Hang on, where we go. September. There you go. The start of the results from the weekend. It looked like a very, very busy weekend, Rob.
So I mean, so far we've managed to get most teams playing at the weekends at the moment, which is good. So we're maxed out on fixtures as far as we can do, and Baker's 693, as they're now known, as Adams found out tonight, they were 1-0 winners against CSM London. Both teams not had great starts to the season, so I think Baker's will be quite happy with the points in that one. The second tie saw Chadwell Heath Spartans versus Sporting Hackney, and I watched a bit of this game. I got to the second half of it. Chadwell Heath were a goal up, but Sporting Hackney managed to level, I think, before half time and then got a late winner in that game as well. So again, Sporting Hackney not had a great start, and it was Chadwell Heath Spartans' first defeat of the season. So bit of a shock result, you could say, on paper, down at Lakeside as well. So good. I'm sure Sporting Hackney will be happy. FC Barazy had another big win, comprehensive 10-1 win against Kit Out London. Barazy top of the table by 2 points at the moment, and obviously with a healthy goal difference helped by that result particularly. Not been a great start for Kit Out. Once again, they're sitting down in 13th at the moment, but a long way still to go. Another big result, really, FC Petrocub 2, Chingford Athletic 2, which saw Petrocub drop their first points of the season. They're unbeaten still, but they had won all their games up to that point. And that was Chingford's first point of the season as well. So I'm sure that'll give them a bit of a boost moving forward. A bit of a thriller, really, over at Limewell Gardens, who were 2-0 up through a couple of Malik Donaldson goals. But Haringey Borough came back to win 3-2 in that one, as they stayed at the top end of the table in third, and inflicted Limemore's first defeat of the season at the same time. So that'd have been a good game to be at, I would imagine. Priory Park Rangers 1, Rapid Chingford 5. As Adam alluded to, they've had a good start, Rapid Chingford, so they'll be pleased with that result, and they're sitting in 7th at the moment after only just really escaping relegation last year. And the last game on Saturday in the senior division was Walthamstow Reserves 4, Brentford Reserves 1. And I think Walthamstow will be pretty happy with their start. I mean, it's had a couple of defeats to their name as well, but after a bit of a tricky second half of the season last year, I think Walthamstow are faring slightly better this year. Would you agree?
Yeah, we are. Ennie's come in. We've got Ennie in from the under 18s, and so they've come up, you could say. And yeah, he's done a good job. He has done a really good job, and I've got on very well with him. He's a good bloke. And I think the reserves will do well. Let's have a look at the table for that. I'll share the screen again. So this is the senior division table tonight. So as you can see, FC Baresi lead the way, Rob, with 5 wins out of 6 and 22 goals scored. FC Petrocub right on their tail with 4. Obviously got a game in hand as well. Haringey's Boroughs under 23s have had a really good start as well, along with Woodford East as well. Chadwell Heath there in 5th. Walthamstow Reserves, a very impressive start with 9 points from 6 games. Down at the bottom, a tough start to life at this level for Priory Park Rangers and Chingford Athletic. In fact, all 3 promoted clubs, or all 3 new clubs, you could say, are down there in how should I say, in the bottom 3. So tough start for them, Rob.
Yeah, I mean it's 4 out of the bottom 5 are the promoted sides. I think it is showing that division is, it's obviously increasing in quality as time goes on, but it's maybe creating that gap between the two, the Premier Division and the Senior Division. It's making that a little bit bigger. Maybe those sides aren't necessarily prepared for the changes that happen in the Senior Division with the extra games, and obviously the intensity of the games as well is a lot different because there's a big prize on offer at the end of the day, isn't there, for sides in that division? So yeah, I mean I'm sure they'll all get their feet under the table eventually and start to pick up some good performances. I mean, it builds on that's where you got to start. Just try and get close in games first of all, and then I think once they get a win or 2 under their belts, I think they'll start to stabilise. But yeah, a tough start so far for the promoted sides.
Definitely. Okay, Pete, have you got anything to add to that?
I remember saying last week when Petro Cub were playing Chingford, I was thinking that might not turn out how people think it turns out, because as Rob's alluded to, Petro Cub have won all 4 games so far. Chingford have lost all 5 games so far, and I think I said last week, so I expected Chingford win, but they didn't quite make it. But I think Chingford would be delighted with that result, especially as they're away as well.
Yeah, I mean they definitely were. I mean it's
massive result.
It's not an easy place to go, is it? So
no. Petro Cub were a good side, very good side, and Chingford certainly. I'd say that was probably one of the results of the weekend in that division, as well as Sporting Hackney beating Chadwell, obviously, because that was a surprise as well. But yeah, no. So there's the teams towards the top. There's a few of those teams we did pick out before the season, and yes, as Rob also alluded to, when you come up from a division below, it's sometimes it does take a few games to find your feet. So I'm sure those teams will get themselves some points eventually. Like Kit Out London have conceded 29 goals in 5 games.
Yeah, and
worry. Although a lot of them came on Saturday, but
they did.
That's quite a lot of goals to concede.
Yeah, I mean, the one time I watched them, actually, they did actually win. So unfortunately, I can't be there every week.
Imagine they've lost the 4 games they've lost, and they've conceded the best part of 29 goals. So that's
I mean, at least what I say in that situation, you at least know where your problems are, don't you?
Well,
and it's obviously it's conceding goals, so it gives you an idea of what you need to do first of all, which is to stop conceding. And I think goals, your attacking element comes on the back of that, doesn't it? So look, if you get a solid base, and things start to change. I mean, they've got to win the games around with the teams around them, haven't they? They've had a tough run of games against the sides in the top half, and you think, well, that's tough, but it means you get a run of games coming up against sides in and around you, don't you? So you've got to pick up your points in the games that matter, is what I always say.
You look at Chadwell Heath. I mean, they only conceded 2 goals in their first 4 games, and then Sporting Gathering put 2 past them in 1 game. So it's
yeah. I mean, they're a solid side, aren't they? I mean, they're well organised. Chapel Leaf Spartans. They know their way around this division now. I mean, they've done. They think they come runners up the first year, or second or third, and then obviously last year they had a bit of a blip at the first half of the season, but then really powered through towards the end, and finished kind of easily in the top half. So, and I think this year they've carried a bit of that momentum into the start of this campaign, and up to Saturday, of course, they're done really well. So, I think it's really interesting. I think obviously Brazy have got a lot of power in their side, but they've also lost 1 game this year, and they lost to Rapid Chingford, and I think a 3-0 defeat. And you think, how does that result ever come about? So I think anything's possible. I always say anything's possible, even in a game like you say with Petra Cup and Chingford. You'd never would have picked necessarily that Petra Cup would drop points there, but they did. So on your day, if you perform well, you can do things that you don't expect.
That's exactly right. Adam's vanished, so
I'll go into the Premier Division now, shall I?
Yeah, should we go Premier Division? So starting at the Premier Division East, I guess, because that's the first one I come across. So yeah, take it away.
So in the East Division, we had 4 games played at the weekend. The first of those on my list anyway was Seoul beating Leighton City 3-2. So that's given them a two wins from 2 start, which is a good start for them. They had a bit of a difficult year last year, Seoul, but they've made a good start there. Newbury Athletics' first game of the season was a 2-1 win against Redbridge Community, who have had a decent pre-season, Redbridge, so that was a good result, and a local derby win there for Newbury Athletic as well. Over at Lakeside in the early game, Ongar Town beat Southend City 3-1. So Ongar also one of the 3 clubs with maximum 2 wins from 2 so far. So they've made a good start to life in the league. And also have Waltham Abbey A, who won 2-1 against Something from Nothing, which means they also have 2 wins from 2 in the division.
Because Ongar came over from the Olympian Division 4, didn't they? So this is arguably a step up for them.
Yeah, I think they were quite keen and very ambitious. I think they've got big plans for the club. Obviously, still in much of a rebuilding phase, aren't they? After what happened 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, I mean they look as though they've done well so far. Obviously a big long season, got 22 games to play, so there's some big hitters in that division as well. So it's a really interesting division, that one.
Yeah, for sure. Right, should we go to the Premier West?
We can. So in Premier West, we had Barkingside under-21s taking on Snaresbrook in the Nutter Lane derby. Which Snaresbrook won 3-1 in the end. So that, again, for the promoted side there, 2 wins from 2. They're sitting in second in the table. London Park City picked up their first win of the season, winning 3-1 against FC Baresi Reserves, who so far 2 defeats from 2, having been promoted. Phillip United are one of the sides who are rumoured to be a good team to watch. They won 5-1. That was 2 wins from 2 for them as well. They beat North East Lions, who finished 3rd in this division last season, so that kind of gives you an idea of the strength of Phillip United. And Renegades lost 4-3 to Newham Wanderers, which was the 2 teams promoted from Division 1 last year. Newham were champions of that division. That was Newham's first win and Renegades' first defeat, so that was a little bit against the grain, you might say. And the last game, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, Wanstead versus Wapping was abandoned due to the referee collapsing because of the heat. So wish him all the best. I believe he's doing well now. He's fine. And like you say, maybe the weekend was very, very hot. It obviously took its toll on a lot of people, including referees, didn't it? So
well, they've got to run around as much as the players, haven't they? So
in theory, yes.
I mean, in theory. Obviously, not everyone will agree with that, but we hope he's doing okay, because that's it's not pleasant. Probably not a pleasant thing for people to experience either, I would have thought. So,
no, not to say no, but I think there was some first aid required there for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. So that's like you said about Phillip United. I mean, when we were doing the cup tour, you said they started well, and they've 2 wins from 2, 9 scored and 4 against. So, and as you say, is it North East Lions they beat 5-1? So
yeah, and they finished 3rd last year, so that's a good win.
It's a very good win, yeah. Should we go to Division 1?
We may as well. So lots of goals in this one once again. So Chingford Athletic Reserves are top of the table They got a second win of the season, winning 4-1 against Eagles Football. I think those two drew each other in the cup as well when we did the draw earlier. So they'll face each other again soon. In the second of the games, Freetown won 10-3 away at Haringey United. So they've had a good start. Better, they also came down from the Premier Division. Haringey not yet got a win on the board. They're a new side this year, so some work still to do there. Old Estamians were 8-3 winners against Lymore Gardens Reserves. Both teams having had good results in the first week of the season. Oldies obviously having very much the better of that one. And there's a really, really good goal in that one. The highlights coming out tomorrow night on YouTube. So that's one to wait for. And Saint City made their first game of the season and they won 8-0 away at Thurrock Thameside. So that completes the Division 1 action.
Yes, Thurrock Thameside, 2 defeats, 18 goals, no one scored. Not the best start of the season, but you know, there's only 2 games. But so it's mad to, Chingford Athletic Reserves have won both their games so far. That may cause an issue if they get promoted and their first team get relegated, but a long way to go. That might cause an issue, but then long way to go. It's early. There's still quite a few games to go. So thankfully, Division 2. Yeah, so in Division 2 again, another glut of goals, and we begin with Royal Forest, who are the league leaders, who made it 2 wins from 2 with a 7-0 win away at Collier Row Reserves, which was a good result for Royal Forest there. Second place team in the division are Old Barcabians. They were also 7-goal winners. They beat Dagenham United Reserves 7-1 at South Park Drive, so they sit second. Third place, Redbridge Community Reserves, 14-0 winners against Romford A. So they sit third with a very healthy goal difference from their first fixture. Friendford A also got their first win of the season on the board. They beat Chadwell Heath Spartans Reserves 2-0. And lastly, Raynham and Barking Phoenix. They also picked up their